Ladies and gentlemen, good evening for the Circle Jump podcast this time around for the, what's it today? The 23rd of February, yeah that's right, of 2017. You've been listening to the wonderful core music of Babin for this little break, and joining me tonight, again of course we have the wonderful Maku and also Gusta. How are you doing tonight? We've already had some good talking, but how are you actually doing?
Maku first.
Yeah, why not?
I'm great. It's been really windy today in UK, especially in the middle where I am. It's insane. Like my door got opened by the wind, and it's not even the front door; it's the door to my bedroom. Like,
wow.
And
all doors closed and everything, and it's just
front door's closed.
Wow.
But I'm good though. I'm fine.
In Denmark, it began snowing. Just all of a sudden, 5 heavy snow. I mean, it looks beautiful outside, but it was just like exactly when I was going onto the bike and was going to go home. Just the snow there. That was
the weather from the UK. Like it sort of moves on to Denmark. That's the sort of direction it goes to. So you might have some of our wind soon, but it won't be as strong.
So we got some wind, we got some snow. I had heavy rainfall here with some stormy elements. Now imagine me cycling the bike to the university twice. Of course, pretty late, so all the lights are already on once I went home. So I had a nice day, let's put it that way. But despite that, I'm pretty fine.
It's just, man, weather all of a sudden just changed. I mean, it was pretty good yesterday, at least for me, but boom, exploded. Snow, rain, wind, just awful. Well, that is impressive nevertheless. The weather just never really does what you want. But at least some of the teams here in the Nations Cup do, certainly. And some others also just keep on surprising us. So let's talk about, of course, the Nations Cup in a lot of ways, but also just let's start with what has happened since the last time we actually were live. So we were live,
which was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. So that was just before the third round. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. So we have this all of the third and fourth round to go through. And I'm thinking just, by Gusta's good idea, just let's go through them all and just then stop at the good ones and look at them a little bit further. So we've had on the 10th, at least as far as Open Zone says, on the 10th we had Canada versus Argentina, going for a 2-1 to Argentina, to Canada. Man, I can't even read. Algiers actually ended on that one as a 6-7 in favor of Argentina. That was a really close one.
Yeah, that's weird. Was it CTF? Canada picking CTF?
Looks like it's being CTF, yes. Yeah, CTF.
Which is weird because by the looks of it, they're much stronger on TS because they actually played the next 2 maps in TS.
Maybe they have just learned that, especially since they are now going up against USA this very next round, as USA is very well known for being good at capture the flags. So Canada should probably try and not challenge them on that. So that's good to actually then at least know that you are more favored here on the Team Survivor side. Furthermore, one that I want to highlight at least, as I also like one of the, I mean, I usually when I shoutcast I forget everything from my head to my toe. I mean, that was already evident like last Sunday, where just 15 minutes after finishing United Kingdom versus Netherlands, I couldn't even remember who had played. Like,
that's because you're doing too much. You've got like so much fancy stuff going on in the stream.
Yeah, I should just really just be the production guy and just do nothing else. But man, the production will also go through the roof then. But that match though was still really, really good. The first map was to Hungary, 17-10, but the first 16 minutes of it was pretty much just back and forth and really close.
This was quite a close match actually. Yeah, so to Hunger first half, or even maybe a bit more than that, was really close. But then we thought, we managed to win most of the rounds later on.
Yeah, you just all of a sudden began to run away with several points, and and for the last 2 minutes, Asia would really have to just reach out to Jesus or something to get it home, if even physically, or if physically, metaphysically, I don't know, impossible at least. But also we had Casa on that map, on that series, which was then also just in favor of United Kingdom, but still.
Yeah, I think it was close. I do think we were up 10-6 and then ended 10-8. So I guess towards the end we got a bit further ahead. I guess might as well say, like in the qualifier, I was playing I played way better in the main event than I played in the qualifier. If you check the stats, there is one reason, because we played the Hunger TS quite a lot, and I played Bridge when we played Spain and Turkey, and then I'm more used to playing tanks, so I switched to there. And I think that helped us a bit because I'm more used to that, and I managed to get some really good scores there. And on Casa, this would have been a play of the week. It would have been in one of these videos because I was 1v5 in the last round on Casa, so it didn't actually matter. But I got 4 kills. I was so close to getting 5. I was really annoyed.
Just snitched away in the end.
Anyway, that was one of the first elimination matches, I think. So
yeah, with that, Asia was thrown out of the tournament, but they still did put up a good show. And that was also just one round that was comedic gold. I can't remember. It was like 13 minutes in.
Yeah,
Someone also clipped it.
I made a clip of that. So
that was just
the most tense 1v1 I've ever seen.
It looked like pretty much just some kind of dance or something, like just jumping around each other, not doing just.
Yeah, but it was so close. But I was like, come on, we have to win this because,
let me actually just look at where that is while we go on. So, okay, I can't actually. Yeah, too much to do. Yeah, whatever. I can't. Too much to handle. I'll actually just stop that. The round was really good. Maku did clip it, and it is also somewhere on YouTube. On the YouTube video somewhere in it.
That was on YouTube.
Minutes in or something.
Yeah, well, if on your channel, you can just go to the clips tab. It's there.
Way too much work for me. Jesus, how do I do that?
Okay.
Cool.
Let's move on.
Yeah. Nevertheless, yeah. Netherlands versus USA, something I don't think we did cover, sadly.
Yeah, you did.
I did? Oh.
I don't think I was there, but.
Did I? Oh, yes, I did. Yes, that's right. But yeah, I was a little cranky that evening. But it was a good match. No, not to say it was just.
Yeah, so it's two teams who they aren't winning every match. They aren't just like France or Germany. But they are both capable of qualifying. So they have some close matches, and this one went to a third map.
And also the maps.
Yes, Kingdom. Kingdom
good.
TS was actually a default map. Netherlands went with a strategy of just camping a lot.
Oh yeah.
Because well, they have some, I don't know, they have some players who are better than the others. It's not as balanced as say Team Canada, where that team is really balanced. I think they have some very even skill. Netherlands is more similar skill level to Canada overall, but within the team, there's quite a variation of skill. So, they actually managed to win by camping this round, this map.
And I mean that was, slower maps and camping I always like to see at some point, but that was a little bit too much of the good for me, my taste.
It worked for them though, because USA they didn't seem to work out how to get through it. But in the end, USA won the next 2 maps. They won the CTF fairly easily, and they won the bomb mode, which was actually very close. But...
yeah, the bomb was also pretty good. Some good rounds in. It was a little bit sad to see that mainly all of those rounds were just washing one bomb side or the other, but still.
No one knows how to play bomb mode. It's not.
I think France is pretty good.
Best
actually,
way of doing a tiebreaker, but no one practices it. It's not really.
Yeah.
A thing in Urban Terror.
And it's a bit sad because I think it could go really well. I mean, I don't know if Dust is going to be the best showcase of it, but
yeah, but like at this point, like there's not enough activity in the game. Like we hardly have any good CTF teams, let alone bomb mode as well. So most people prefer to stick to Team Survivor.
Yeah, it was. I can remember there was a game between France and Italy back in the Nations Cup 17. And in that one, France was doing some really cool stuff. And they were actually like spreading out and also putting the bomb down in the spawning area, not just running straight away to just one bomb side or the other. So that was really interesting to see actually tactics and playing around the whole idea of having a bomb and having to put it on a bomb side. That was cool. Would be more interesting to see more of it, but yeah, I also agree that maybe you should either. I don't think maybe really this just Dust 2. I mean, Dust 2 is good, but and it is also well changed here for Urban Terror, but probably you could get some better bomb maps for Urban Terror that at least also work really well with like jumping, I think. Yeah, nevertheless, yeah. Let's see, France versus Italy. No one was surprised. I don't.
No, I don't. They didn't even play the second map, I think.
Yeah, Nordic. Well, Nordic got a forfeit win against Spain. Sadly, Spain didn't really get enough players. Belgium versus Brazil with a 2-0, and also Colombia versus Venezuela for a 2-0 to Colombia, and also then a good match, at least in some.
Oh yeah,
parts,
we've
Germany
been seeing some Cambridge coming up. I was just looking at the Belgium Brazil match. It's been picked by a couple of teams. It's not a useful map to be seeing, but I'm up for seeing less common maps being played. Anyway, so yeah, Belgium won against Brazil. Colombia Venezuela was a win for Colombia, and Colombia's actually been quite good. I think they came from the qualifier, didn't they? And they've actually done quite well. They're still in. They might, yeah. So we have one more match. It decides whether they qualify or not.
They have just been completely surprising us. Even the match against,
they did quite well against Portugal, didn't they?
Yeah, they played against Portugal, and that one was just amazing.
They did lose in the end, but it was close.
Yeah, I mean, it's specifically that one on Cambridge going into overtime, and then on Tuhunga ending up with a 16-22. Which was really close then for the first 17 minutes of the whole 20 minutes. That is pretty much, there's nothing more that you could actually ask for. Maybe just for a third map to actually have even more of this amazing stuff. But I mean, they just have shown up really well. And Portugal being one of the favorites too, they can get really far. And they are also, this time around, though, going to go up against Colombia. Oh, no. Colombia is going to go up against Colombia. Thank you, Ikslorin. You can think. Netherlands, that's what I'm trying to say. And well, I mean, they could probably take it. I don't know. I mean, Netherlands are also just looking really well. So, I mean, I don't think we really should go for predictions on the final round, except just saying that those matches are probably just going to be good.
They're going to be really close. I'm pretty sure of that. I think it'll be really hard to call who wins these.
If we breeze through the West, we also, Germany versus Portugal. The first map on that one was really close on Tuhunga.
That was like the best match of the week, wasn't it?
Yeah, several were looking forward to it. It was also for someone with their predictions a little bit of an upset. or not that much, but I mean it's really close. But still, someone mispredicted. So I always like to just see like people, or not people, but teams actually defying the odds or surprising people. Let's see. Brazil versus Argentina. Argentina takes 2. And United Kingdom versus Netherlands. Sadly, United Kingdom with that fell out.
Yeah, that wasn't even close.
Was a little bit sad to see, especially since there were some good games also with United Kingdom earlier. Yeah, Colombia versus Portugal, we already talked about that one. My favorite, probably even from round 4. Maybe even also off round 3. Canada versus Italy. That one we actually have demos for too. We just have to cover it. So that will be something that will happen at some point. Probably at some point in the weekend, I think, if we can find the time. That also means, of course, that we finally have the co-caster not just scrambling around to figure out where the stream actually is looking.
Oh, that'll be nice. As long as we have to start the demo at the same time, or like we'll be able to sync it up.
Yeah, something.
By the way,
like
Italy have had a lot of tiebreakers, and I think they've won every single one. Like they had, against Canada the round. Wait, we're talking about that one right now, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that was 2 tiebreakers there. We had against Netherlands in round 2. Tiebreaker on Tonga, which they won, and so they've won like 3 out of 3 tiebreakers.
Man, I mean, also I always like to sell Italy as just like the upsetters pretty much, but they are pretty much just doing that. They always, at least before they end up in the playoffs and being kicked out by the very favorite, by usually France or something, they at least always kick out one team that you would actually like to see further. So yeah, Italy just kicking it here. Nordic versus Venezuela, that one was a little bit of a sad thing to see, as Nordic did get, as far as I can see, they did win the first map, despite all of their issues with the server, as they at least say. But then, because they couldn't muster enough people after having clarified what server to play on for the second map, they sadly had to concede.
We might, by the way, have a UK Nordic, not an official Nations Cup game, but since we didn't play each other in Nations Cup, we might actually organise a match.
That would be amazing. I remember to keep me updated on that one, because that is also going to be a good match, I think.
Yeah.
You will probably be playing, but Costa, if you want, you could of course always join in. Pretzel might be if he's not playing or something. Yeah.
Pretzel will be playing.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
We can't play without Pretzel.
Last one that was also played round 4 was USA versus Belgium. We did only see the second map. The first map was Austria, and that one was not really that close. Sanctuary was actually really close for the first 10.
It was 9-9 at one point. I'm pretty sure it was 9-9, and then the end score was 9-15. It was exactly 9-9. We were talking about Surmime, I can remember. It was like 9-9, and then Belgium win this clutch 1v2. And then when it's 9-11, there was another Belgium winning a 1v2.
Well, Belgium are also just going to go really far. And, also just looking at the names, though, of USA, they should... except if they, of course, are just going to be thrown off by Canada, which also just have great names.
Belgium seem to be taking Australia's spots of being good on Austria.
But with fewer G36s, though. Also, Australia was pure G36, nothing else.
Yeah.
I don't think they actually knew that you could change to another weapon. Maybe that's why. So yeah, Venezuela versus Argentina of the last round for the last last 6 teams that have yet not been leaving or being qualified for the playoffs will be. I mean, Venezuela versus Argentina has already been played, and as
2-1 for Argentina. It was.
Tuhunga was really close. Looks maybe even like it was something like an overtime. And Awexo on that one, 41 kills to 26 deaths. He was a machine.
Yeah, he did well. More than 1 kill per round.
Orbital didn't look that interesting, but Casa still 11 to 13 to Argentina.
I think Orbital might have been close. I mean, we didn't watch it, but the scores are actually not too far apart.
The matches, or the rounds certainly did go to Argentina, but based on the kills, you're totally right.
Yeah, it was probably close rounds. Can't really say without watching it, but it looks like it was 3 really close maps.
Yeah, except for that, we also have, at some point, these next 2 matches are unscheduled. So that does mean that Canada versus USA, we do not know when that is going to happen. It's probably going to happen at some point where I'm not awake.
It's not scheduled, you're right. Okay.
They are talking in the comments, I think, about Sundays or Fridays. So, yeah. Colombia versus Netherlands. That one does look like it is actually at a humane time for me, at least. So I might be up on for that one. Though it is also still unscheduled, so it could change. And I mean, it is also with 2 teams on pretty much the opposite side of the earth, so how are you actually going to be able to do anything of the like? Yeah. So, but though also with that, all in all, 3 of those teams will join with that: France, Germany, Belgium, Portugal, and Argentina being qualified for the playoffs. And let's see. So also the playoffs, interestingly enough, if I can find where my production is. There we go. Where was I? Seeding for the playoffs. So the playoffs you could of course just do as you always do, just go for one big hat and just put teams wherever they are, but then you might go for some kind of rematches. And from a storytelling perspective, I do see useful stuff with that, because I mean, it's always good to hype up some rivalries, but I think we all on the forums just said that they wanted to have some semi-random seeding, such that.
Well, but it looks like, since France and Germany didn't lose a match, they should be on opposite sides.
Yeah.
Should they be like top 2 seeds, but then the other ones? It's hard to see.
Let's see. There was a post. I had a post somewhere. I don't have it anymore.
Yeah, I don't have it. I think it's on
there we go. I have it now. Let's see.
I think it's on a part of a forum. That's like admins.
Transition. There we go. Production value. F11. There we go. So France and Germany, will be on the opposite sides. We also will have, it seems like, 2 hats, one with the top teams, one with the bottom teams, and then we will have those.
Because we've got Belgium, Portugal, Italy, and then it'll be Argentina plus 2, depending on the outcome of these last 2 matches.
Interesting. So, like, the lowest, the least successful teams also of the Swiss format will go straight on to just running straight into the beast of Germany or France. I mean, yeah, that's probably the most fair thing to do. So, I mean, it would be unfair to the other teams who have done better. It seems like it could be good. I think there was also something. Something like we don't. Okay, so Biddle also does say here that we might have to have a reshuffle if there's actually going to be like new, just something that has already been played.
Yeah, maybe try to, as long as the first round of the playoffs doesn't have a rematch, I think that's probably the best you can do.
Yeah, you cannot really make for all the possible outcomes. Ooh, Monday night. Well, I won't be able to actually, just looking at the last comment there, I just saw my name and was fascinated. Gustav, if you are up Monday night, we could do it early, but the thing is, sadly, that I am not available from about, well, actually I'm not available from pretty much 6 and forward, because I'm swing dancing. So, yeah, that's really fun, throwing around women, but it's not really going to help with drawing stuff, so that might be something that Maku or Gusta can take care of themselves. I can always give you overlays and all sorts of stuff if you need to.
Is this about what, streaming?
Yeah. So like we did a drawing for the possible group stage for the which just ended in, I think, the initial matchups of the Swiss format. I think it was like that. We would then also have another stream with the playoffs. Problem is I cannot do that Monday night. So that would either just have to be offline, or Gustav would have to do it himself. But I mean, I don't need to be there for people to do a good drawing.
Yeah, sure.
You could also do it. I mean, you said you also had your.
I don't know exactly what you're streaming, but we should probably organize it. It's not really, doesn't need to be in the podcast. Like,
yeah,
if we're talking about scheduling or something.
Right. Yeah, my mind is just going away. Thank you for that. Let's actually then, now that we're already going a little bit over time, thank you for, yeah, good, yeah. Let's just actually, before we end, just for anyone who didn't know, on the Facebook and on the Twitters of Urban Terror, there has been some pretty cool stuff actually for the resurgence. There have been some really beautiful pictures coming from both the map of Abbey and also the map of Casa. So I mean, that just looks really fancy, and I'm looking really forward to seeing more of it. So hopefully we can also begin to see a little bit more in the near future. I think I've heard a little bit about that. Not going to say though when. So yeah, I mean, I love the changes in the interface, especially since I've been like thinking about that for a long time since last time. It just looks beautiful. And again, thank you Gusta and Marco here for being here tonight.
Yeah, it's been no problem.
I think is there anything we've missed? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. I will figure out the scheduling not online. And yeah, I think I'm just actually going to go to bed. It seems like my brain stopped working for like 10 minutes ago. Still, thank you for joining me, both of you. Thank you for watching and listening. This will, of course, be up on YouTube as fast as possible. Also, remember the podcast is also as an MP3 file, as a link in the description of the YouTube videos, so that you can actually also just listen on it on the go.